So that's at the end of the day, it is what it is. RK bro, I was wrong. But what I'm not gonna be wrong about is who they put the title on, and that is the Usos. I'm telling you, I was told you that RK
The
bro needs to lose that
one.
Unification channel. I honestly didn't watch WrestleMania Backlash. I didn't because I was upset that they didn't make the main event the tag team titles, and that goes to show you how wrong I
Wow.
was
Why?
about because that's the story they were telling from WrestleMania to WrestleMania Backlash. That was the biggest storyline in the company, and I was appreciative that they gave the tag team division like the shine for that time. Like even though I don't know Roman's going through his, he may be in, he may not be in. We don't know if Roman's going to be a part timer right now. He's going on these live tours and saying, you know what, love you guys and thank you for all the support as a heel, saying that he's not going to be doing this for much longer. And shout out to Roman because you deserve to move on with your life and do big and bigger and better things. And I support him in whatever he does next. He's great. But this was the moment to make the tag team titles the main event of WrestleMania Backlash because that was the moment where I didn't need Roman in this because he didn't have a challenger. That's fine. You know how many years Hulk Hogan went without getting. At some point, Hulk Hogan just would go months without having a challenger, and then eventually, the Intercontinental Championship would be the main title at SummerSlam or something like that. That or whoever was champion at the time, Ric Flair. He was like on the sub on the mid card sometimes because the Intercontinental Championship warranted that spot. I think the tag division at WrestleMania Backlash warranted that spot. They didn't get it, and I was pissed off, and I didn't watch the show. However, putting it on the Usos is warranted. The unified Raw and SmackDown champions for the first time ever. I believe this has happened. And I'm here for it. I think that they have solidified themselves as one of the best tag teams, if not the best tag team of the past decade. And this might be a recency bias
Oh,
type of thing, but there is a lot of people that
it's a
can.
lot of it's a lot of tag
There's
teams,
a lot of
my
tag
nigga.
teams that can argue to be the best tag team of the last decade. Now, on this graphic here, we have the Young Bucks. We
Yep,
got FTR. We
yep.
have New Days. Then we even got the Briscoes because just because they're not on television doesn't mean that they haven't been one of the
Y'all
best
niggas
tag
told
teams of
me.
the past decade.
Y'all
They have
niggas
been
told me if
one
I
of the
like the
best tag teams
Usos,
of the past decade.
yeah,
They separated their own singles runs, came back together. They're real brothers. They have great matches. Go back and watch the match at FTR. They actually did have a great match, man. One of the best matches of the year.
niggas
So
said if I like the Usos, I should like the Briscoes.
yeah, they're literally like they're similar acts. Honestly, they're similar acts, but the Briscoes can work, and not this is not comparison. They can work. So if you watch their matches, it's not just their attitude and how they portray themselves, but they are one of the best tag teams in the world right now, and they have been for a long time. So these are our top five. So you guys, if you're listening to us, if you're watching this clip, who are your top tag teams of the past decade? Because this is our top five, or this is my top five. I don't want to speak for Chris, because is there anybody else you would put in there?
To be honest, I don't think so, man. I'm gonna be honest. When we talking about it, let me see. Let me see. When you talking about it, there is no other tag team that has made the impact in the last decade like these five tag teams, right? Like the Briscoes hold down ROH in itself, like a hold down a whole company in itself.
Yeah,
The Bucks building a whole company in itself. You know what I'm saying? FTR winning four different
I think
championships.
six. It's like something like
I
that.
mean, four companies, right? Or
Four
six champ.
companies.
Hold on. NXT, SmackDown, Raw, AEW, ROH, AAA. Six.
Wait, six. Yeah,
Yep. So I'm saying, like,
that's wild. Yeah, that's awesome.
bruh. And them niggas want to get motherfucking IWGP World Champion. World
They're
Tag.
like the Dudleys of our era. I feel like because the Dudleys and Legion of Doom, both of those tag teams
I
were
would
going
say
everywhere.
FTR was more Legion of Doom than Douglas.
All right,
I
bet
would
both
like,
because as far as career trajectory, they went from WWE, they left, they went to New Japan, they went and collected titles everywhere, and the AWA, they were that tag team for their era. That's why I think Legion Doom till this day is one of the best tag teams of all time. But let's talk about the last decade. These are my top five. If I'm choosing out of this, it's very hard to choose because the Usos are iconic, but the New Day is also iconic in their own right. Obviously, had some of the greatest matches with the Usos in their feud, but what they did for pushing, I think, black culture forward, for pushing, Kofi to the main event of WrestleMania, for also just being a unit in the way that doing it differently than any act I've seen of black men, in WWE, and getting over to their selling cereal or merchandise, arguably are one of the best tag teams of the last decade, if not the best tag team to do it. So all these tag teams have an argument for why they're the best, but I already said mine is the Usos. Who are yours out of this? Because can you choose?
Yeah, I don't think the Usos is the best tag team. Usos. It's hard for me to say the Usos, even though they just did something unprecedented. They're not the best tag team in their company. I do believe that New Day is the best WWE tag team of all time.
Okay, and I'm not gonna knock you because they were like up there with me too. They're like 1 and 2.
I think they're, and I think what makes them more unique is the interchangeableness.
We did a character spotlight on them, and we were getting to the Usos. We never got to that, but you're right. The interchangeable of them. I think with their history, they
What it
made them
was, Speed
two
Force,
world
all that
champions
shit like that,
in the group.
Two world champions, a IC champion, a United States
King of the
champion,
Ring.
a King of the Ring, a motherfucking they, like you say, sell cereal,
Uh-huh.
bootio. Not just any cereal, nigga. Them motherfuckers sell bootios, bruh.
'Cause when that came out,
Bootios,
I when that came out, I was like, no, they didn't. I was like, no, they
bootios, my
didn't. They did
nigga.
not name a cereal Bootios and actually sell that
And
shit.
sold them motherfuckers out, bruh. Bootios.
And they must have been cracking the hell up when they actually said, yeah, we're gonna do it. Um, damn. That's fascinating, man. I think the New Day are iconic, and
They're
they
super
took down.
iconic. They're super iconic.
Yeah, they're iconic. So that is right up there. But the reason why I want the Usos is just consistency over time, the time frame, um, from the evolution of the team over time. From being in the paint face and growing as brothers. And having consistent great matches the entire way. Like people don't even talk about
Nigga,
the matches they had
that
with Tyson Kidd and
nah, that fucking that 2 out of 3 joint with the Wyatts was
the
cool.
Wyatts.
Easy.
But to the Tyson Kidd and Cesaro had matches with them. Like they've been doing it for a long time. They're so good that we don't even notice how good they are sometimes.
They
The
had some
bar, the
with the
bar
bar.
has some great matches with them. Uh, so they haven't not been a tag team the entire way, and they stuck with it. So you talk about pure tag teams. Yeah, the past decade, the Usos were the most iconic, most impactful tag team, and along with the Young Bucks. I think the Usos and the Young Bucks, first impact out of these tag teams, are top tier. But as far as just wrestling and saying, we're gonna stick in one company and win as many championships as we've won, and just be a tag team purely and have good matches and go out there and pivot, change your style, change your gear, change your look. And now they're with the Bloodline with the two top titles in the company, first time. So I think it's a great moment for them and the Bloodline, what they have going on with Roman. It's going to be something we always remember. Um, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Even as I sit here right now, I'm still like, comic. Am I right? Nah, maybe not. But it's a great conversation, y'all. Like I said, y'all decide. Y'all tell us what you think. Because honestly, to me, all 5 of those guys over the past decade have been killing it. So they all could
Absolutely.
possibly be your top tag team in the past decade, and I'm not going to argue. But maybe somebody says the bar. Maybe somebody says, another tag team that I haven't heard of.
We getting some response right now. All close, but New Day, in my opinion, definitely New Day than the Young Bucks. That's on Twitter right now because I put it live on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Twitter. Twitter need more options. We only got 4 options. We got 5 teams, so I don't know how we do that math.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just put the picture up and let niggas have at it.
Yeah. You can put the clip up or something and let people fight for it and see what they think. Let's start a conversation.